Live, it's the Bison Football Show. Valley News Live and Gate City Bank present the Bison Football Show with head coach Chris Klieman.
I love a football game like this. I'd like to see the results different, obviously, but this is, to me, this is real football.
Yes, it was a playoff-type atmosphere, a playoff-type game. NDSU and Montana locked horns at an electric Gate City Bank field, and the game lived up to the billing. A physical game ended with a 12-point win for NDSU. The Bison are 4-0 with a stacked resume now. The win streak now at 28 games. We welcome to the set head coach Chris Klieman. And Coach, congratulations on this win. It wasn't easy. It's not supposed to be, but it's a big-time win.
It's a big non-conference win that was well-earned. It was a physical game. I thought our kids played exceptionally well, and we kind of grinded it out, kind of the NDSU and the Bison way. So really happy for our guys. And
this type of game can help you later in the season, can't it? A physical game, you know, teams don't match you physically a lot, and Montana played a physical game. It can help you maybe in the playoffs later in the season as you prepare for Valley play here.
Well, it'll help us for Valley play for sure, because that's the kind of game you have in the Valley, a kind of a knockdown, drag-out game where you've got to be able to control the line of scrimmage. And give Montana credit. That's a really good defensive front, really good offensive front, and our guys held their own and did a really nice job.
You know, it seemed like the guys were excited about this game, too. They love these big games, don't they?
Oh, you could tell the look in their eye. Pre-game meal, during the warm-up and stuff, they were ready to go. They knew it was going to be a heck of a football game. You
know, and the crowd was ready to go as well as we start to break down the first half. Let's congratulate the crowd, too. Bison Nation in full throat, weren't they?
Oh, it was a great crowd, electric atmosphere. Our kids loved it.
Hey, a great opening drive here. I thought, you know, Montana won the toss deferred, so you get the ball first and you start to grind it out early.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had the ball first, and I was really impressed with the opening drive.
I love this formation here. All the backs are in there, and John Crockett actually turns into a blocker, almost a wishbone.
This is a great look for our offense, something we're going to continue to expand on and get all three of those really good tailbacks in the game together.
You know, I thought interesting on the first drive, you used all three backs, Morlock, Frazier, Crockett. You even used Dudzik a time or two.
Yeah, we wanted to try to mix things up and show some misdirection and great play calling by Coach Polasek early on.
Well, Montana didn't break, though, and you get a field goal out of this drive.
It's just a sign of things to come. Adam Keller, you can see the great leg strength, and he's got a lot of pop in his leg right now.
You know, a quick 3 and out, you're back on offense, and you really have them on their heels right now.
Well, that's something we talked about. We needed to control the line of scrimmage and try to wear them down, and they did some good things stopping us in the red zone, but we made enough plays to get ourselves down there.
Now, a 4th and 1 call here, you decide to go for it. It seemed like, you know, almost a formality. You were getting chunks like this, didn't it?
Yeah, and that's what we thought is we were doing a great job controlling the line of scrimmage. Give those guys credit. They penetrated and made a big stop.
Yes, they did. Now, Montana on offense, nowhere to go. This is a great blitz on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, it's a great call by Coach Ince. We showed pressure from one side and then switched it to the other side, and Carlton was able to come free and force the kid into a tough throw because he wasn't going to take very many sacks.
You know, back on offense, you continue to get chunks of yards. You really had the game in hand at this point as far as being able to move the football and having them bottled up defensively.
Well, I felt good because we were controlling the line of scrimmage. We just needed to put points on the board, and that's where we were struggling. Great play there by Kevin.
Back-to-back plays to the tight end. You have a deep tight end position, don't you?
We really do. Great job here by Lucas. Good job by Carson looking off the free safety and hitting him in the seam.
Again here, a field goal. It's 6-0 now, and, you know, Adam had a great day.
Adam had a great day, kicking with a lot of confidence, and these points became valuable towards the end of the game.
The Bison run defense just very stout. Did you see some things in tape during the week that you thought, you know what, we're going to have some success against them?
If we controlled our gap, and that was the main thing, is we needed to be gap sound, and you could tell the guys were doing that and getting off blocks and making plays.
I think this next play as we move to the second quarter really shows the ability of Carson Wentz. He's on the run. What a great throw this is. He even takes some contact.
Well, you bet, and he's a dual threat. He can run or throw it, and good job by Brock coming across here and making a big first down.
Yeah, again, another good boundary throw. It wasn't just on the ground, the early success. You're throwing the ball well also.
Well, if you can run the football, it's going to set up some of these play action and 5-step game, and that's what it did for us early on.
Another field goal here, so it's 9-0 right now. So even though they're not touchdowns, you're still putting points on the board here. Now it's a 2-possession game.
Yeah, and that was the key. We needed to get to a 2-possession game. Our defense was playing really well, and we needed to keep that score at least at 9.
Well, they were 1 play away from getting back into the game, and here is that play.
Yeah, great play by them. They make a double move on Christian, and he overplays it on one side does a good job coming back and making the tackle, but give them credit. An explosive play, great throw and catch.
And they did score a touchdown here, so it's 9-7. Now it's game on here, isn't it?
Yeah, now we know we're in a slugfest, but I still feel pretty good just the way our offense is moving the football.
You know, when you put together long drives, I thought in this game, this next drive here, another 10-play drive where you had great success on the ground.
Yeah, we just were going to pound the football, and you saw all three backs again, keeping everybody fresh. Great job by the offensive line with receivers and tight ends blocking downfield.
Now, this is a tough field goal here. This is 40-plus, a long one.
This is a great kick. Good hold. Great job by Ben. Good job by Fish on the snaps and protection. That was big 3 points to getting us up by 5.
And there was a good play right prior to that to get more yards to get yourself in field goal range, so a nice play there. Now, this Ellis Henderson, the kid can make some plays.
What a great catch. Great throw and catch. Carlton's right on him. He catches it on Carl's back and comes up with a big play.
You know, here's a big play in the game. They called targeting. It was reviewed. Just talk about this whole process here on Carlton Littlejohn.
Well, the big thing is, did he lead with his helmet? And we didn't think he did. I think the young man's helmet came off, so that's what initiated the flag. And I was glad that they didn't kick Carlton out, but I think maybe we could have the flag taken away too. That's why I've got to look at it again this afternoon.
And that's great that review worked there.
You're right, because if not, we'd have lost Carlton for the game, and that would have been a big loss for us. But we were happy to keep him in the game.
You know, I think it was big there, too, to hold him to a field goal. So you go into half with a lead. It's 12-10. Crockett, nice first half. NDSU did have 5 penalties for 51 yards, but only 1 in the entire second half. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But NDSU, 2 of 7 on third down. Montana was forcing field goals. We'll break down the second half in just a moment. First up on the Gate City Bank hot seat, it's Carlton Littlejohn. Tell us your hometown and the best thing about it.
Minneapolis. It's kind of like that there's always a lot of people around, a lot of things to do, so you're never really bored.
Lots going on. Who's the loudest member of the team?
That goes to John Crockett easily.
Favorite way to relax at practice without getting caught?
I kind of go talk to the trainers a little bit, pretend like I'm getting some tape, so I mean, I kind of got an excuse, but not really.
Would you rather have it 100 degrees or 10 below?
After being in Fargo, I don't know, probably 10 below now because you can just cover up.
Yeah. Favorite kind of music?
Go-to would be rap, but I'm kind of getting in like the whole pop scene, like yeah, that kind of music.
Okay. What annoys you most about another person? What's your pet peeve?
Bad listeners. Yeah.
What's the worst part of your personality?
Probably too quiet sometimes.
What do you like most about Coach Klieman?
He's a player's coach. He likes to hear your input on most things.
Okay, give the fans a sense of what that tunnel walk is like.
It's pretty exciting, especially coming out of the helmet. You can't see anything, but you can pretty much hear everyone screaming, see the lights flashing. Just kind of gets your heart pumping.
All right, Coach, I'm guessing at halftime this was a pretty lively locker room where you're making adjustments and such because this is a tight ball game.
A really tight ball game, making a lot of adjustments. Happy to be ahead 12-10 because we held them to the field goal, but no, we probably could have been ahead by a couple of scores, so we got to come out and fire on all cylinders in the third quarter.
Let's break down this second half for you. We start in the third quarter, and the Bison defense, again, just outstanding. This pursuit on this particular play is just a wow, unbelievable.
And this is what we preach every day in practice. We preach from the day they get there in August up to a game like this. You got to get people to the football, and we force a great 3-and-out on the first drive.
That's a statement, a 3-and-out, and then you grind out another drive, 10 yards off tackle here for Crockett.
Yeah, great blocking up front. Good job by John, and we were going to establish the run to start the second half.
Hey, big carry for Darius Anderson here.
Change of pace. Darius, fresh legs. He's got great quickness. Pops through the hole for a big game.
You know, this drive right here, you're literally running right through them. You have them on their heels again, don't you?
Absolutely, and give credit to the Rams and the tight ends up front. Boy, we controlled the line of scrimmage, and we were going to try to wear them down and take some of the clock in this third quarter.
Between the tackles was working, but also off tackle, especially for Crockett. Here's 9 more off tackle for John coming up.
Real patient play. He waits for the blockers to get out in front of him. Good job by Jedry. Good job by Jesse out in front, and gets us inside the 10.
It was important to finish this drive with a touchdown, wasn't it?
Yeah, we needed to get a score, probably to get us up to 2 scores. We needed a touchdown to make it a 9-point game, and obviously Carson and Kevin do a great job hooking up.
This is a 3rd and goal from the 3 also, so a very stressful play.
Yes, it was, and 2 kids with great poise and confidence in their ability came up with a big play.
This Henderson from Montana had been battling injuries. He looks pretty healthy now. He shows some speed here.
Yeah, he's got tremendous speed, and we were worried about him on passes, reverses, kick return, punt return. He's a really good player.
Well, you force a 4th and 2. They decide to go for it. Their kicking situation not good, so they go for it. They go back to Henderson.
Yeah, they do. They run a little slip screen here, and good job blocking downfield, and then they end up converting.
You know, this was a game where there weren't a lot of takeaways, so you kind of figured a turnover might turn this game around here, and this is exactly what happened.
Yeah, we needed a big play, and we'd been getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and we're able to get another hit on him here with Kyle. And then what a great play by Christian, going up and getting the football. They threw it to their best player, and Christian went out and made a big play.
Those are game changers right there. It's 19-10. That's a big play, keeping them out of the end zone. And they're starting to run it a little bit here. They do have a nice back.
They do. They mixed it up really well. We didn't tackle exceptionally well in this play. Good job by Carlton running from behind. But they've got a good offense. They're going to make some plays.
And Jordan Johnson, as we move to the 4th quarter, literally was running for his life out there. I'm sure he's in an ice tub somewhere today.
Yeah, we put pressure on him, and even though we didn't get the sacks maybe, the ball was coming out an awful lot quickly, and we were getting hits on him.
Yeah, you saw he took a hit right there. Now time for that patented 4th quarter smash mouth drive, 6 yards for Crockett here.
Yeah, we're just kind of pushing that pile and grinding it out and moving the chains and keeping that clock moving.
You know, Carson is so dangerous when he gets out in open air like this play here, isn't he?
This was a great call by Coach Polasek. We'd run that play so much, and then we kept it and ran the naked bootleg, and he gets a big first down and keep that clock rolling.
You know, prior to this field goal attempt, a touchdown and field goal would beat you, so it was important to get these 3 points here to make them have to score 2 touchdowns, wasn't it?
Yeah, we needed the points for sure. Plus, we got the clock to about 2 minutes, giving us a 12-point lead with a couple minutes left. We felt pretty good.
You know, I thought the tackling was great all day, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had 1 or 2 missed plays where we didn't tackle great, but this one is an unbelievable play by Jordan Champion, getting off 2 blocks and forcing a 1-yard gain.
You know, I thought Champ played one of his best games. He was very good and certainly deserves some kudos for that. The final score, an impressive win for NDSU, 22-10. Crockett, another big game, 144 yards. Dudzik, Mr. Do Everything. We'll talk about that in a minute. Keller, 5 for 5, has not missed a field goal this year. That's a school record. 5 of 8 on 3rd down in that second half. That is a big turning point in this ball game. Let's hear what the players had to say after the game.
I came in at halftime, and you know, I was happy to be up, but at the same time, it was real frustrating to get down there and only come away with 3. I really appreciated Adam Keller, though. He came up huge for us today with all those field goals, and yeah, it was frustrating. But you know, that's the way it goes sometimes, and credit their defense as well.
Well, we always talk about getting 3 turnovers, and unfortunately, I think we only had 1. And I was just happy to get the ball back in the offense's hands so they could pound the rock and melt some clock.
That 4-toe guy, he got 4 toes, and he's made to be a kicker. So, but it's always great to know at the end of the day you can come away with some points. And at the end of the day, you know, we're a little frustrated that we get in the red zone. We were in the red zone, we didn't score, but you know, they're a great team. You know, that's what great teams do when they find a way to, you know, make stops. And thank God we got a kicker like him, and he knocked 5 of them down, no problem.
And that moves us into our Nodak Mutual Insurance Player of the Game. The kicker typically doesn't get noticed, but this weekend Adam Keller was called upon in key situations, and he delivered 5 times, in fact, in a low-scoring physical game. 5 field goals are huge. They weren't all chip shots either. 2 were over 40 yards. It's certainly a day Keller won't soon forget.
It was even sweeter because my grandparents came in from Pennsylvania. They drove 22 hours to be here. So, you know, I greeted them after the game, and they had tears in their eyes. So, God, it was a special moment for me and my family that came in from Pennsylvania.
That's a neat story right there. And, Coach, you know, kickers sometimes only hear the negative stuff when they miss a field goal. But for a guy to step up in a big game like that, make 5 field goals, all those points were important.
Absolutely, and I told the guys before the game the stars needed to be stars, and he was a big-time star on Saturday. And he's gone through a lot of adversity like a lot of other guys. He had off-season hip surgery, which you don't have as a kicker very often, and came back really stronger this year. And I couldn't be happier for Adam, kicking with a lot of confidence and a big weapon for us.
Special teams were huge. Ben LeCompte also huge. He kicked the ball off 7 times, had 5 touchbacks. That's a huge weapon. And then this coffin corner punt was a thing of beauty.
What a great punt. And he's another big weapon. We have an advantage in special teams with Adam and Ben, and those guys got to continue to step up. But to be able to kick the ball out of the end zone as often as he did with a great returner back there really sets our defense up well.
You know, and touchbacks might be boring to the fans, but when they have a dynamic return guy, it's important to take the ball out of his hands, isn't it?
Absolutely, and we preach it. This kid would probably bring him out, and he didn't until the last one, and we kept him inside the 20, so great job by our kickoff team led by Ben.
Hey, a new wrinkle this week, Christian Dudzik, he's a safety. He had a turnover, he got an interception, he returns punts, and he was also in on offense. Talk about how you're utilizing him.
Well, he's got such a great skill set. He's a tremendous athlete, got exceptional speed, and we just wanted to try to utilize him, get him the ball a little bit more in space, like he does usually on kickoff and punt returns. It's something that we'll expand upon, but we got to make sure that Christian is healthy and ready to go on defense because he's so valuable to us on defense and on returns like you see here.
Does he give you peace of mind back there returning the punts? He's really become sure-handed at that.
Yeah, he really has. You know, we were really fortunate we were able to develop CJ as well, so we have two exceptional guys, but it's nice to have him out there. And then what a great play here. We always talk about big players making big plays in big games, and that was as big as it was on Saturday.
You know, you talk about this game, you see the score, it's 22-10. It was a physical game. You know, it seemed like a tough game, and it certainly was, but I think it's worth noting the stat domination in this game. You look at the box score, the first downs, the rush yards, total yards. I mean, 79 plays to 48. That's a solid day at the office.
That's a great job by our offense of controlling the clock. I think we had the ball for 39 minutes and they had it for 20. And then defensively, we won the game in the second half on third down. We were able to get off the field and give it to our offense, who then were able to wear those guys down and keep the ball.
So, Coach, you've played 4 games. You've only given up 31 total points, 0 points in the second half. That is very hard to do. Talk about that. Adjustments after halftime, goose eggs for everybody so far. All 4 opponents, no one has got a point in the second half. Unreal. Well,
that's a team effort. That's defense playing exceptionally well. Coach is doing a great job, but it's our offense too. It's our offense holding on to the football and grinding the game out and keeping the ball for a long time. Our best defense is when our offense is on the field. Throw that in with the special team success we're having with punts and with kickoff coverage. It's a great team thing for us to be able to shut people out in the second half. It helps. Everybody's a part of that.
Yeah, it's an impressive stat, no doubt. Now, Carson Wentz has made 4 starts now, and he looks very, very good. We're going to break it down in our feature story this week. Stay with us. Welcome back to the show. As we head into the bye week and you evaluate this 4-0 start, Bismarck's Carson Wentz really stands out. Wentz inherited a pressure cooker situation following all of Brock Jensen's success. The winning streak still active, but Carson is handling everything like a pro. Jamal Spencer checks in with Carson Wentz in this week's Olaf Anderson Construction feature story.
Bison quarterback Carson Wentz has long impressed his coaches and teammates with his physical gifts. 6'6", big right arm, and enough mobility to leap over a Big 12 linebacker in a single bound. Now he's finally getting the chance to show everybody else.
The actual experience of being out there on Saturdays with the pressure coming on and those types of things, I mean, every game that's been better in my opinion, and I think it's just going to keep growing.
But while his Bison brethren have spent a great deal of time praising his athletic abilities, it's his mental makeup that's allowing him to impress them further.
I strive to be perfect, and obviously I'll never be perfect, but you know, even if I complete a ball, I'll be really skeptical about, okay, well, I was a little behind him. He couldn't make the play and keep running. So I'm really just a perfectionist, a really detail-oriented guy.
It's that search for perfection that at times has kept the junior from Bismarck up at night. After throwing his first career interceptions at Weber State, Wentz stayed up at 3 a.m. when the team returned from Utah to study the game film.
He holds himself to a high standard, much like us coaches do, and he was humbled a little bit. And for him to go through that game and for us to still get a win, I think that was a great game for him to mature a little bit.
His work ethic is really something that I think everyone on the team looks up to. I think everyone strives for. He's always figuring out a way he can be better and also, you know, get the best out of everyone around him.
While he's always known that in order to succeed, you can't get outworked, the lessons he's learning on the field each Saturday are helping him put it all together, perhaps a little quicker than he expected.
I just got to be able to manage his game. I don't need to force anything. I don't need to make a big play. I think that's what got me in Weber. I was trying to make too many big plays. I just got to trust the system and just play within myself, not outside myself.
For the Bison Football Show, I'm Jamal Spencer.
Well, he's a popular player from Bismarck, North Dakota, and we're probably trending towards Carson being able to win the mayor race in Bismarck. Everyone loves him, and what have you seen from him in the first 4 games?
Great leadership. The kids respect him so much. The players respect him, his work ethic, how he goes about his business, and he's not turning the ball over, and that's so critical. Our offense, we said the big turnover yesterday, we got it on defense, didn't turn it over on offense. He's managing the game, but he's a playmaker, and people will continue to see that as the season moves forward. You
know, I mentioned it a little bit, but he stepped into a tough spot, didn't he? And he's handled it well. I mean, Brock did so well, and everyone had so high expectations. The win streak's going, but he's handled it well.
He's handled it tremendously, but that's the type of kid he is. He's a really humble guy, and he's a really hungry guy. That's going to continue to get better and better as the season goes.
Sticking with the quarterback theme, we check in with prize recruit Easton Stick in this week's Peterson Farm Seed Future Crop of Bison. His progress is being monitored closely. Even though he is a redshirt, everyone knows about Easton Stick, star high school player out of Omaha Creighton Prep. But what's most impressive is he is working hard in the shadows right now, making the most of his redshirt year.
You know, with every practice, with every rep, every week, I feel like I've gotten better, and I'm starting to understand why we're doing things a little bit more. And so I think that's kind of my goal each week, is to make sure, you know, going into Saturday, that I feel more prepared, you know, than I did the week before, and more comfortable in the offense.
How's he looked so far?
Future's really bright for Easton. He's an extremely intelligent quarterback, really good arm strength, great speed, really can run, and he does a great job leading our scout team offense. And you're going against Kyle and all the guys on defense with Carlton and those guys. You get a great look, and he gives us that dynamite picture each week. I'm excited about the future of Easton.
Stay with us. We're going to discuss Western Illinois, the next opponent for the Bison. Well, Coach, a bye week, then Western Illinois, and they acquitted themselves very well against Northwestern. What do you know about the Leathernecks?
Well, extremely well coached, very physical team. It's league play, and so every game's going to be a dogfight, and this is a program that's continuing to get better. Coach Nielsen's doing a great job.
Well, the Bison are 4-0. Enjoy it, everybody. Enjoy the bye week. We will see you after that Western Illinois game. Take care.